Welcome to Toast. Quick roll call off the top. Terry Siakis, who do you wish you could spend more time with?
Whoever it was that spray painted a wall near my place with the phrase, quote, "Dolphins are people too." Just so I could explain to them that no, dolphins are actually dolphins. Charlie, who do you wish you could spend more time with?
Anne Hathaway. At the moment, I currently spend 0 time with her, and frankly, that's not enough. Justin Hamilton, who would you like to spend more time with?
I'd like to spend more time with you.
Oh.
But your goddamn wife gets in the way. She won't let me stay over. I just want to cuddle at night.
Coming up on Toast this morning, he's fired up and he's ready to unleash a special kind of fury. Your chance to win at large with Australia's fastest confusing game show, Who's Camo Tapping? All that and more coming up on Toast, your weekend breakfast show with Terry, Charlie and Justin here on Triple M. Terry Siakis, what's fresh off the newswire this morning?
Well, if you're planning on a Sunday drive with the family at some stage today and you're not sure how you're going to cope with having your kids whinge and carry on in the back seat, take heed. Because in news from Queensland, a school bus driver who'd had enough of the unruly behaviour of the kids on his bus drove them straight to the police station.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Apparently the kids had refused to stay seated on the bus, and then things took a bit of a turn for the worse when someone threw a boiled lolly at the bus driver's head, which is weird because I didn't think people actually ate boiled lollies anymore, but good on them.
Had they just been to, like, Sovereign Hill or something?
I think so. Maybe. It was a vintage school. But the bus driver responded, and I love this, by calmly making a detour from his usual route and heading for the local cop shop where he apparently parked and beeped the horn out the front until a couple of cops came out to address the students. Don't you think that is just brilliant?
That's great. How old are the students again?
They were high school age.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you imagine being a student on that bus, kind of, because you know what you're like at that age. You think you're fantastic, so you're acting up in front of your friends, you're thinking you're hilarious, and all of a sudden you're realising, hang on a sec, this isn't the way we go home. Where's he taking us? Is that the cop shop? Wait a second, can he do this?
Oh, no, and I've me with 3 kilos of weed in my bag. Oh, no. Oh, what a nightmare.
Charlie's talking from experience.
Do you guys have memories of acting up on the school bus?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, the school bus is a halfway house between the classroom where you have to behave and the outside world where you can kind of do whatever you want. It's kind of in between. And I remember we were monsters on our school bus. We got in trouble, really. There was a kid in our class called Stiffy Williams, and that wasn't what his parents called him. That's
Obviously.
just what we called him. But he used to get a bit of a travel stiffy on the bus, like quite regularly. And so we'd sing a song about Stiffy Williams when he got a travel stiffy.
That's great.
And the bus driver didn't really like us singing that song because he was Stiffy Williams.
That's
so
rubbish.
that's he took it personally.
What's wrong with that? It's a song. It's not like you're being nasty. It's something everyone can sing along to.
We had a group of boys on our school bus. I went to a girls' school, but we had a brothers' school, and there was a group of boys from the boys' school bus who were banned from the bus by the bus driver because they would stand in a group deliberately near him and fart all the way home. And he banned them and said, no, you are not getting on this bus unless you, I don't know, cork it, plug it, sew it up.
Dude,
He was quite resolute about that.
you just got to make some jokes about that. You've got to admire that the kids have, nimble bums. That
I was going to say, how do you deliberately fart? Do you
Well,
save it all day?
I think you do,
yes.
and then you crank it out at the end. But I love this. Police described this Queensland bus driver's decision to take these kids to the cop shop and involve them as fantastic. And look, I do know why. It's not every day a cop gets to enjoy the look on 50 or so school kids' faces when they hit them with the threat of a cavity search.
Tasty.
This is Toast on Triple M. We were just talking about that bus driver up in Ipswich who cracked it with the class and took the bus literally straight to the police station when all of the kids were going mental.
Yeah.
Now, that reminded me of what my parents used to do when we were naughty in the car, which they always made the threat that we could get out and walk. Like if we wanted to, I think the exact phrase was, if you two want to carry on like pork chops, you can just get out and walk.
Like pork chops.
I have no idea how a pork chop carries on.
They're filthy.
Covered in applesauce. I don't know what that is.
They're unruly.
But we always thought, they're just saying that, they're making it up. And then there was one day where we just kept pushing it. And they did. They literally pulled over and kicked us out of the car and drove off. And we were in the middle of nowhere. We were utterly terrified.
How old were you?
I would have been maybe 9
Really?
or 10.
Nah.
See, that's still young enough to think, hang on, this is going to go seriously wrong. If you're any older, you'd go, nah, this is going to be fine.
It had that feeling, like, because they sort of pulled off, and it wasn't quite a country road, but it was like, near a parklands.
Yeah, Wolf
and it was
Creek.
like, it was very Wolf Creek. It was actually like I was waiting for the car to drive off and hear a wolf just go in the background. It had that genuine vibe about it. And I tell you what, I learnt my lesson. I behaved probably for a good 3 days after that.
My God.
Yeah, I was really in line.
Tell you what, your parents are out of line.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to have a crack at them the next time I see them.
Are you going to kick them out of the car?
You know what? It explains a lot of your issues now.
Really?
My dad's threat was always, I will stop this car. Always. That was the phrase. And we always used to, I've got 2 younger sisters, we always used to fight over who was looking out which window in the back seat. There were 3 of us, and so the ones on the window side would bag the window, right? And whoever was stuck sitting in the middle would, if that person looked out the right-hand side window, the person sitting on their right would go, she's looking out my window. Or if they looked out the left, she's looking out my... So the person in the middle had to look through the windscreen, and that was it, right? And we were having this argument about who was looking out someone's window one day, and my dad said, I will stop this car! And we didn't stop arguing, and so he did stop the car, and he told us that he was going to get us out of the car and leave us on the side of the road, same as your parents, Charlie. As he was lifting my then 4-year-old sister out of her car seat to put her on the side of the road, she quietly had been feeling a little bit car sick during the trip, and as he lifted her, she threw up all down his back. That was the last time he ever did, I will stop this car, because it was like, you will stop this car, I will vomit down your back.
Oh, God.
Which is quite nice.
When have you witnessed someone crack it in the car? Because there's nothing like someone losing it in the car, because it's a confined space.
Yeah.
And there are always situations that you have to ask the person, do you really have the cojones to back up your threat in this situation? Because I when I was a kid, I had my parents go, oh, look, I can get out here and you can just walk. And you go, Mum, we're at the docks. Don't leave us here. That's not right. You know you're not going to back us up.
This is Toast on Triple M.
There was this story about a bus driver up in Queensland who cracked it in a bus and actually drove the students who were misbehaving in the bus to the police station. Terry's dad... cracked it and said, I will stop this car and kick everyone out.
Yep.
And
the younger sister ralphed all over
Ralphed all over his
did.
shirt. Joke's on you,
sure
Mr.
did.
Siakis. Cop
And
that, George.
When you're on a road trip and someone vomits down the back of your tracksuit top, you pretty much just have to leave that on the side of the road. You can't bring it back
brutal.
into the
You
car.
have to set fire to it and just drive off.
And never speak of it again.
Never speak of it again.
Exactly. Alex, when have you seen someone crack it in the car?
Well, actually, what made me think of it was your original story from the paper. It was in about year 10, and we were having a food fight on the bus like we did with the Skeggs guys every day from Maris Brothers.
Right.
And the bus driver actually cracked it with us and drove us to the police station.
Really?
Yeah. He actually was kind of like, he had like a Tourette's moment, I think, like the South Park lady with a bird in her hair on the bus and sort of screaming at no one in particular.
And what did he do when he got you to the police station?
Well, that was the funniest part. We felt a bit cruel afterwards because he got to the police station. He said, right, I'm getting to the police station. And we said, okay, yeah. And we pulled up and we all looked at him and went, okay, now what, mate? And that's when he had like another little moment and sort of screamed profanities at himself and then just continued on his route. He realised that there was nothing much he could do.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I think-
can you take us to a fire station next? This is a great tour.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll have a little tour. I think
Nice
what
one.
started it was we'd always had food fights, and a mate of mine brought a spaghetti bolognese sandwich and hurled it at the front, and it hit the front seat right next to the bus driver, and
Oh,
it was quite hilarious, really.
Yeah, spag bowl's going too far in a food fight.
That's right.
And you can't get that off with the wipers because it's on the inside. That's no good at all.
That's it.
Nice one. Thanks, Alex. Alistair, when have you seen someone crack it in the car?
Yeah, g'day. When me and my brother and sister were kids, we were always carrying balls around, tennis balls or mini footies or something, and we used to sort of start throwing them around in the car sometimes, and quite a few times if they ended up in the front seat, Mum would just turf them out the window.
Just start piffing them out of the car.
Yeah, just wind the window down. So that's it. We'd get a few warnings, like stop throwing the balls or whatever. And if they went in the front seat, she'd just grab them and turf them out the window.
That's
I
all
love
right.
that.
As long as she gave you a few warnings before she held you out of a moving vehicle. That's the main
Yeah,
part of that tale.
got a few warnings. Yeah.
Just imagine though seeing Alistair's mum driving past, just hurling random kids' toys out the window as she's driving
right.
along. Small footy hits your windscreen of your car. Was that a small Richmond football? Where did that come from? I like it. Thanks, Alistair.
This is Toast on Triple M. If you want to know what's going on, I'll meet you down by the water cooler, baby. A water cooler, baby. I want the cooler, baby. Issues of ethics and etiquette, how to behave, how to get along in the modern world. The topic on the table today, when is it okay to not buy a present? Justin Hamilton, why are we talking about this?
Well, okay, here it comes, right? I had to fly to Adelaide to go to a wedding. It's a good mate. Haven't seen him in probably a year. Just going in different circles. But I got invited to the wedding. So anyway, I flew to Adelaide, so I had to pay for flights. And then I had to pay for accommodation. Had to pay for some taxis. Also missed out on doing some work that I was meant to be doing. So I kind of figured that was a hefty turnaround in moolah. Like a lot of coin not ending up in the little fella's pockets.
Yeah.
Like it probably ended up being, I worked out roughly $1,700 turnaround in going to this wedding.
Wow.
And so then the present was, when they do their money pits or, the wishing wells or whatever it is where you stick cash into a wallet and into an envelope and you throw it in, and that's meant to be the present. I decided the present is my presents, and I'm here.
Because
I've already spent a lot.
Yeah, you'd already spent a fair bit of cash.
Yeah, exactly. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do this. And I tell you what, it caused a kerfuffle with a few of the people I was at the table with.
So did you tell people that, no, I'm not putting in? When everybody got up to put cash in, you said, no, I'll stay here and drink
because
my
I was
Suburban and Coke.
Yeah, no, I left out the Coke. The envelope came around, and I said, "Oh no, I've already put in enough." And they said, "Well, when?" And I said, "Well, getting here, the $1,700 turnaround." I explained it to them, and they said, "Well, you got to put in something." And it's like, "Well, I'm not going to put in like $5. Like that seems like it's that's pulling the piss." Yeah. So I just said, "Look, I'm here. I'm having a good time with my Suburbans. Just back off."
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, what happened? Well, I got so angry I went downstairs and I played the pokies and I won $166 and I put that in. So that's what I ended up doing. So but I wasn't going to put in anything.
You kind of did give them a present, but by default.
Yeah, well, the numbers came up. It worked out well for them. It was their special day.
See, I think that's fair enough. If you've already dropped cash to get somewhere and accommodate yourself, I don't think you need to be putting in for a present.
Yeah.
No. How cheap are you? Are you a street urchin? Are you
$1,700?
Are you a lovable tramp? Like
$1,700. These are tough economic times, Charlie.
This is their forever day. All right. How many weddings of theirs are you going to go to? None.
Maybe 3 or 4. You don't know that. Lots of people get divorced these days.
But saying me being there as a present. A, you're selling tickets on yourself. B, you spent that money on you having the experience of going to the wedding.
Yeah, but he's
and I'm there. What kind of argument is that?
I'm just saying, as a matter of courtesy, I still think you should give him something.
No.
Even if it's a Brash's voucher. Anything.
Is Brash's still around? We have been in Adelaide. I think Brash's is still around in Adelaide.
When is it okay not to buy a present? Have you been in a situation where a similar thing has happened to you? It doesn't have to be for a wedding. Could be maybe someone was passing the hat around for someone who was leaving at work or a birthday present or something like that.
We are in the weekend water cooler, and the question on the table, when is it okay to not buy a present? Justin Hamilton went to a wedding. He had to fly to Adelaide.
Between flights, accommodation, transport, and I missed out on work. It was probably a 7.
Count that.
Why? Because I cancelled it.
You can't build that into a cost.
I cancelled it.
No. Because it's what would have been in his pocket had he not attended the wedding, so it is a cost.
It would have been right in my pocket as dollar coins swinging over my head, cracking you in the eye. So it's in the cost.
I just think hypothetical, imaginary, maybe money, because shouldn't... Whatever you've got receipts for, that's the cost.
What are you talking about?
I'm just...
Jeez, you're dull sometimes. It was a $1,700 turnaround.
Justin, my dad's an accountant. If you want me to knock up a couple of receipts for you, I reckon we can probably...
My dad doesn't want to be an accountant too long. So basically, Justin decided that he didn't need to buy a wedding present because he'd spent some money going to the wedding. I personally think, come on, man. Suck it up.
I reckon fairies muff.
Buy a bag of oranges on the way from the airport. Something, just something.
A bag of oranges?
Anything. I'm just saying.
Just buy anything. I think that's patronising.
No.
Don't buy anything. I'm there.
Patronising would be saying, I'm impressed that you got married.
Yeah, I did. I said that. I said, that's impressive. Well done.
Peter, when is it okay not to buy a present?
Oh, g'day. Well, we had a birthday party to go to, and he decided to have it at a restaurant, which is fair enough. But he was charging us $55 a head, and the thing is, like, you've got to give out the address of this restaurant so everyone knew where it was, and most of the times you only pay about $35 or $40 a head, so, you know, he was clearly making a profit on it, so I thought, well, bugger that, there's no way I'm going to pay that much money. He's going to make a profit, and I'm going to give him a present. The hell with that.
So you reckon you were getting stung a little bit too much for the price
I'm
of the
sure
meal?
I am. Whether or not he was trying to get his family for free there or something, I don't know. But, you know, there's no way I was going to give him a present. And like I said, there wasn't many people that did buy him a present. I only saw a couple of boxes there that were wrapped. So, yeah, anyway.
Were you tempted to, like, say, all right, I'll come to the restaurant, but I'll sit at a separate table. I'll look after the menu myself. Thanks very much.
Yeah, it would have been good. I should have taken the presents.
Did anyone pull him up on the slight discrepancy?
No,
between
everyone. Yeah, everyone spoke to each other about it and sort of grimaced and that, but no one had the sort of balls to sort of say anything to him. But anyway, he got away with it, I suppose. But,
Well, he didn't get a present from you, Peter, and he
No,
probably
that's for
deserved
sure.
not to.
no, I drank my share anyway. So
Yeah, good
work.
work.
No worries. Cheers.
Thanks
This
for
is Toast
calling.
on Triple M. Justin Hamilton, pub professor, tell us something we don't know.
Did you know that 40% of Australians admit to eating junk food when depressed?
Well, you think that's bad? The other 60% eat health food and then just drink.
Oh, dear.
This is Toast on Triple M.
Time for Toast Comedian Watch. Comedian Watch.
Casting our eyes over the week's little newspapers to find journalism features that we think are worth celebrating this week. Charlie, what have you found?
I want to tip my hat to the newspapers of Adelaide this week, Terry Siakis, in particular the Advertiser and the Sunday Mail here in Adelaide. First of all, they've got a story about how hydrogen peroxide, high levels of hydrogen peroxide, is what causes you to go grey, and it's a totally natural thing. It just comes from exertion and living your life, with the headline, "Life's a bleach, then we die, D-Y-E."
Oh, that's clever.
Not only was it an awful pun, but it reminded me of my mortality. So
Yeah.
that was cheerful. But probably the highlight of the week for me in the news was this little story right here under the headline. This is a bit more of a criticism of the Sunday Mail, because they ran this headline: "Convent sex rife, says none." And to run a sensationalist headline like that without a picture is just outrageous.
Just makes me so
I'm
angry.
furious.
What a waste.
I want a nun.
Nuns.
Well, after reading
Terry Siakis.
after reading Brisbane's Courier Mail, I'm handing out a couple of awards this week. The first award is for most paranoid question ever asked in the letters page, and it follows concerns that were raised in the paper during the week about police abusing powers to snoop on social networking sites like MySpace and Facebook. The award goes to Warrant of Brisbane, who off the back of those concerns writes, and I quote, "How long before police will get powers to tap into your own thoughts and dreams?" Paranoia, everybody's coming to get him. Put down the jazz cigarette and relax.
I think they're already in Warrant's
I
mind.
think they are. But the second award that I'm giving out to the Courier Mail this week, it's for best attempt to sound conscientious while failing miserably. And it goes to someone who was interviewed by the paper, Sunshine Coast surfer Julian Wilson, who won a wild card into the Quicksilver Pro competition. When asked by a journalist about his decision to ride a pink surfboard to promote breast cancer checks, Wilson said he was, quote, "just raising awareness for the young girls and women out there to check their tits." Sensitive, Julian. Sensitive. Justin Hamilton, what have you found this week?
Hey, it's an important message, though.
Yeah.
It really is important.
really
And
is.
I'm happy to help in any way
Yeah.
possible. Justin Hamilton, what have you got for the week?
I've got a story. This is from the Advertiser as well, being here in Adelaide, and it's a story about Paul Gascoigne. Do you remember Paul Gascoigne, who was the English soccer player?
Gazza Gascoigne.
Gazza
I believe
Gascoigne.
They called him.
Exactly.
He was a pretty wild-living guy, wasn't he?
He was. He played for England. He played high level, played Premier League. Look, the subheading is "Fallen Soccer Great Tells of Struggle with Booze and Drugs," and that's a sad story, isn't it? And you shouldn't sensationalise that at all. But the big headline is "Toy Parrots Talk to Me." And you know what? I know it's a sad story, but if you're going to point out the good stuff, why are you whinging?
This is Toast on Triple M. Thank God. Thank God for the internet. Thank God. Thank God for the internet.
As we sample some of the delights, some of the many delights that YouTube has to offer. This week we're going to look at prank calls, but these are not just any prank calls. There's a number of TV shows, more in America than here, that feature live phone calls from viewers as part of the program. Now, these shows are basically, they're basically like talkback radio, but with pictures, okay? So they're often news-based shows or religious shows. There's an American news network called C-SPAN that broadcasts a live news show called Washington Journal, and the idea is that viewers can call in to give their opinions or ask questions of a guest on the show, right? Now, what we're about to hear is one of the show's hosts, Connie Doble, getting pranked not once but twice while she's fielding viewer questions to her guest, the ambassador of Afghanistan.
Philadelphia, go ahead.
Boy, the callers are really fired up this morning. I just want to say I have a really big penis. I can suck my...
Let's go next. It's really very unnecessary. Toronto, Ontario, you're next up with the ambassador. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Jawad. My question is, do you have a big penis?
Man, I can't believe that guy got back on.
Neither can we, Connie. Neither can we.
Oh, Connie.
Live to air.
And for the love of God, allow the Prime Minister of Afghanistan to answer the question.
Yeah.
Just let him answer the question. He probably had something ready to go.
Interesting to say.
It's a shame that we might actually post that clip up on our website, because the look on the ambassador of Afghanistan's face after that is really quite priceless.
Something tells me it wasn't 2 thumbs up.
No, it definitely wasn't. Next up is, it's another clip from C-SPAN. This time, host Brian Lamb gets asked a question that I don't think he was quite expecting.
We go next to Camden, New Jersey on the Republican line. What do you think about all this?
Good morning, Brian, and thank you for C-SPAN.
Welcome.
When did you lose your virginity?
What do you mean?
How old were you?
I'm not about to answer that
When
question.
you lost your virginity. When did you get...
Hey, thanks. Nice to hear from you. Always good to hear our callers when they're like that.
I reckon. We love it, Brian.
Answer the question, Senator.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't avoid the question, Senator. Once again, the people have a right to know this stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to know when he started to tear into it. This is rubbish.
Our final clip comes from, this is a religious call-in program called Nightlight Live. Now, the episode of the show that this clip is from was dealing with the second coming of Christ. And listen as the prank caller, who's trying to draw a similarity between Jesus and dead rapper Tupac, gets way more than he bargained for from the show's host.
I find it hard to believe that Christ is going to come back. Like, Tupac didn't even come back, so why would Christ come back?
Well, you're missing one of the main things here. Tupac never told you he was coming back. Tupac didn't even know he was going to die. Did you hear me?
No, Tupac said he was coming back.
No, Tupac didn't even know he was going to die.
Tupac said he's coming back, man.
No, Tupac never said that. Remember, you're talking to a black man about Tupac, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What about
So you need to be careful, because I've watched all the videos on Tupac. Tupac didn't even know he would be killed. By the way, let's understand something. Tupac and Jesus Christ does not range in the same category.
Cop that, little prank caller.
Bam.
Yeah, that is something that needed to be clarified.
Yeah. I always wondered, though. Because you never saw him in the room at the same time.
You never did you?
Yeah.
And they never did a gig together?
No.
There you go. If you have an YouTube clip that you think is worthy of showcasing on Toast, the email address here is
toast@triplem.com.au.
This is Toast on Triple M.
Charlie, you were just telling us off air that you saw something a little bit odd on your way into the studio this morning.
Yeah, tell me if you think this is weird or not. But I was walking into the studio this morning, and a guy went past me, and he was riding a bike, but smoking a cigarette while he was riding a bike.
That's commitment.
At the same time. And I was just going, wow, he's fitness neutral. Like, he's actually doing it, and he had this really happy look on his face as he pedalled along, and just cigarette hanging out of the mouth, as though he was going, I'm doing nothing to my body right now.
So that would probably be more lung capacity to get the smoke and the chemicals in. So, because he'd be riding and the breathing and the lungs.
Yeah, breathing
and then,
deeper.
Yeah. So that's
you
why
think
he looks happy.
You think it's actually super smoking?
You know, I would go as far as to say he probably doesn't realise he's riding a bike.
Yeah, what sort of cigarette was it?
Yeah.
That'd be, if he did it long enough, he'd feel like he was in E.T.
Yeah.
You know that scene where he just starts riding past the moon.
Yeah. I like it.
That's really someone who means business, though, because my initial question was going to be when he said he was smoking a cigarette and riding a bike at the same time, was the cigarette just hanging out of his mouth, or was he, like, when you see people driving a car and they've got the cigarette in their finger while the finger's on the steering wheel, did he have it in his finger while their hands were on the handlebars? The commitment is when it's just in your mouth, there's no kind of taking it away for a break, you are just in and out constantly. That is dedicated smoking.
And the best thing about that, the reason he needs both hands down, he needs one hand for steering and the other one to ring the bell as he goes past people going, drink, drink, look at me, riding and smoking, drink, drink, dudes, I'm pretty happy.
I respect that so much. The only thing that I've ever heard in my whole entire life that beats that was my mate saw a guy eating a pavlova while surfing. Amazing, isn't it? I just love the commitment.
This is Toast on Triple M.
Time now to play Who's Hamo Tapping?
Who's Hamo Tapping? We're all set to go. Just a reminder, it is someone from the world of sport that's been in the news this week. There's no limit to how many people can have a crack at this.
Yep.
And if someone before you guesses your guess and they're wrong, then just guess something else.
Yep, change your guess.
We couldn't possibly make it any easier to win this competition. The only person that has to do the work is Justin Hamilton. Are you ready?
I put in a lot of effort. I'm ready to fire up.
Ready, set, tap.
Okay, he's on his way. Trev, who's Hamo tapping?
Ben Cousins.
Oh no! I'd love to tap Ben Cousins, but not so early in his comeback. Maybe a little bit later on. But good guess.
Give him a chance. Jane, who's Hamo tapping?
Richie Benno.
Richie Benno.
I do like me some Benno, but it's not the Silver Fox, I'm afraid. That's a good guess though.
Okay, can we have another clue, perhaps?
I'd say maybe a clue would be that they're from the world of sport and they played last night.
Yes.
Okay, all right, world of sport played last night. Kaz, who's Hamo tapping?
Oh, sorry, not last night, but I was thinking Tiger Woods.
Was it Tiger Woods?
Yeah, no, a little bit like Ben Cousins. Be a bit unfair to give him the tap so close to his, return.
You'd hate to injure him.
Yeah, exactly. There's a distinct possibility that I would.
Another clue? Can we have another clue?
Okay, world of sport played last night. We're talking about a team.
Okay.
We're talking about a sporting team.
That's why there's so much effort going into this one.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're really straining yourself there.
How's your hammy holding up?
It's all right. It's a bit tight, but I'm still going.
Okay. It is a team that played last night. Jason, who do you think Hamo is tapping?
Well, I know the soccer was played last night. Is it Adelaide soccer team? Or it's got to do with Adelaide? Adelaide United or someone?
Is it Adelaide United?
Yes!
Whooshka.
Yeah, I'm tapping them back to the winner's circle.
Congratulations. What does it feel like to win Who's Hamo Tapping?
Pretty good.
Feels pretty good for me as well. It's like it's high taps all round.
This is Toast on Triple M. And that's it for us. We're going to be back at 7 o'clock next Saturday. We are your weekend breakfast show here with Terry, Charlie and Justin. We hope you have a great day. But if you're lying in bed right now, you're listening to this and you're wondering if you should even get out of bed at all, well, why don't we check in with your Toast horoscopes? We'll see you next week.
Hello, I'm Bonathan Boehner. Hail my prophecies, worship my foresight, get juiced up and conceive a child in celebration of my predictions. Capricorn, what once worked wonders now hardly hits the spot. Consider making a major life change by substituting sitting on top of the washing machine during the spin cycle to get your jollies for putting the vacuum cleaner down your pants instead. I'm talking to you, Arthur. You know who you are, Arthur. Leo, stop rolling over and accepting defeat. Try rolling over and accepting something else instead. If you're faced with confrontation this week, try growing a nut, preferably macadamia. I like how they taste in salads. And Dingleberry. Now is the time to move on from a past indiscretion. Sure, the footage has already been posted on YouTube, but it's not too late to cut your hair, shave your beard, and start telling everyone your name's Denise. You know, it worked for Drysdale. I'm Bonathan Boehner, you've tried my horoscope, now purchase my zodiac. I'll sell it to you cheaper if you can prove that it's shop-soiled.
Toast with Terry, Charlie, and Justin on Triple M.